We are kicking off a 2-week road trip, and I asked you guys over on Instagram, what truck do you want me to take? Most of you voted for the Tacoma, so we're gonna put this thing to the test over the next couple of days. Brand new Fox FRS suspension with the internal bypass and 37-inch tires. We're gonna see how this thing performs on the road for fuel economy and of course how it does off-road too. What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I am Talon. I make new videos every week, so if you like what you see here in this video, then consider clicking subscribe. I left this morning from the Denver area at about 7:30. It is a little past 10 now, and I'm at my first fuel stop. The first thing I'm going to do on this trip is check out the fuel economy, because in my last video, everyone was asking, what's your fuel economy? I have no idea, and we are going to find out right now. Somewhere in Wyoming, and I'm going to drive straight through until I get to my next fuel stop. I'm going to calculate the actual mileage because I'm pretty sure the truck is off. Thank you, man. He said, nice rig. So we're gonna do all the calculations and see what kind of gas mileage we're actually getting. Hey look, Mike's with me on this trip. So we're gonna jump right into putting this to the test here. Again, driving straight to my next destination. I actually wanna mark on my map where I'm at because I don't think the speedo or the odometer has actually been correct on this truck ever since I got it. I of course went up to 35s pretty quickly. I'm gonna mark this gas station right here, save that, and then I will check the actual distance whenever we stop. Now there's going to be a lot of variables in a test like this, obviously, but this is how I'm going to be doing it. A speedometer app, I'm going to compare this to what the truck is actually reading out. I feel like sometimes if you are plugged into your CarPlay, it kind of throws off your GPS speed for some reason. It definitely happens in the Mercedes Sprinter van, and I'm assuming the truck would be kind of similar. So we're gonna hop out onto the highway here and first check how far the speedometer is off. When I was running 35s, I've checked this before, and it was actually right on par, which it shouldn't be. There should be a discrepancy because I wasn't running the factory tires, but right now it says I have 226 miles till empty, and let's get up to highway speed. Traveling through Wyoming into Montana, the speed limit is pretty high. Right here, the sign says 80 miles per hour, which is nice. We're gonna do a baseline here at 70 miles an hour, and it says I'm doing 76, about 76 miles per hour, so speedo is definitely off. I'm probably going to try to keep my speed between 70 and 80 miles per hour for this test. And another thing to note, I don't know why some people think this, but I believe it's a pretty common misconception. A lot of people think that if you use your cruise control, you will get better fuel economy, and that is just straight up not true. The truck is going to kind of fight more when you're going up hills to keep it in higher RPM to stay at speed that you have the cruise control set to. And in some cases, I guess super ideal if you're going just like completely flat across the country and there's no elevation change. You could see decent fuel economy, but I'm just going to drive this truck like normal for the next probably 2.5 hours, roughly 200-ish miles, and that's going to be the baseline for the test. Again, I'm gonna try to keep my speed just regulated by myself between 70 and 80 indicated miles per hour. Honestly, probably shouldn't push 80 because then I'll be going a little bit closer to 90 since the speedo is off now. But that is just something to keep in mind when you are switching your tires to a larger size. So I'll check back in about 220-ish miles. All right, we're cutting straight to it. No fluff in this video. I've been driving for the past almost exactly 3 hours straight, and I just rolled over from 1 mile till empty to refuel. So that probably means I have, like, if I stretch it, maybe 20 to 30 miles left, but that's not good for a bunch of different reasons, and I'm actually getting pretty close to my next stop. For the past 3 hours, I have been averaging probably close to 75, almost 80 miles per hour. But again, everything is off when you change the tire size. It's weird because when I plug my phone into CarPlay, it actually reads out the same as the truck, or at least very close to it. And again, that comes back to that like weird discrepancy. So I like to get a baseline without my phone plugged in. Maybe some of you guys out there know why it might do that. It's not taking a reading from the truck, so I don't really understand it, but I'm just going off of GPS and what that said. Not my preferred gas station, but beggars can't be choosers. Now the truck was indicating about 11.4 to like 11.7 miles per gallon, and I know that's not correct, although it's probably better than my third gen Tacoma in some cases. So I'm going to look up where we just came from, see how many miles it actually was. 219 miles, so that's pretty accurate, I guess. Filling this thing up with 91 premium, and we will do the conversion and see. All right, here's the verdict. 4th gen Tacoma hybrid, 37-inch tires, a ton of weight, not very aerodynamic with my boxes and stuff on the roof. The Sherpa rack helps a little bit. 16.6 gallons, 219 miles. That comes out to about 13.2 miles per gallon. Now, a lot of people will hear that and say, wow, that's terrible. I don't really care. I don't buy vehicles for good fuel economy unless that is like the sole purpose for it. If I wanted to get better gas mileage, I would buy a Prius, which are honestly kind of cool. I do like the new Priuses, but this truck is for fun, adventures, off-roading, carrying around all of my gear and things like that. So 13 miles per gallon while I'm doing 80 miles an hour across some of the windiest highways in the country, loaded down and everything. That's not too bad. I would guess that it could get even a little bit better under like more normal driving conditions. If I'm not doing 80 miles an hour and climbing up and down a lot of elevation changes, there was probably about a 1,500 foot elevation difference all throughout, and I was constantly climbing up and down hills and things like that. So I may do this calculation a few more times to kind of average things out when I'm not just like ripping across the country, but it is what it is right now. All right, we're doing this again. That was another 3 hours, down to 5 miles until empty, but I'm sitting at a gas pump already, averaging 12.5 miles per gallon as indicated by the truck. I'm gonna have to check and see how far I just drove, but I'm getting tired. I'm actually in Big Timber, Montana now, and I should be pretty close to a place where I can camp. I don't even really know where I'm going tonight, but I'm gonna figure it out soon. So the trip up here was much less elevation change, it wasn't as windy, and according to the map I went 246 miles, which, let me make sure this is right. Yeah, that's right. So almost 250 miles out of this tank, which is a lot better than before, so I'm assuming the average is gonna go up after this one. Should be stopping here any second now. 16.3. That brings us to 15.09 miles per gallon there. So let's add 13.2, divide that by 2, roughly 14.14 miles per gallon out of 2 tanks of gas. So I would say maybe like between 13 and 15 is a pretty good estimate. It really depends on how your truck's loaded up and how fast you're driving and where you're driving and things like that. I don't think that's too bad. Again, I don't really care about fuel economy out of this truck, but 15 miles per gallon on that last tank, I would never see that out of my third gen, which was on 35s. Flash forward and welcome to our camp spot for the night. I didn't go very far, but I am maybe 20 miles outside of Bozeman, Montana right now. Just hit a Forest Service road and made it up to this spot. Everything in Montana is pretty much beautiful, and pretty quiet, peaceful. Occasionally there are some ATVs in the background, but this is going to be the stop for the night, and it is now 6:30. So the truck did great today on the new suspension in 37s. I was a little worried about kind of road tripping with this truck with the larger tire size, but held up really well, comfortable the entire time. And off-roading, this was the first time that I actually adjusted these DSC controls here on my new Fox suspension setup. It's a little bit easier to see if we come to the back here. I knew I was going to be taking it pretty easy coming up here, really no obstacles or anything. Nice, open, and graded, so I turned everything down, both high speed and low speed compression, down to 1. So basically full open, and the truck was just kind of floaty. Felt really great, super comfortable, didn't have to air down, and I'm going to be putting this suspension to the test later on this trip, like next week when I'm with the Firestone crew. I realize I haven't even explained what I'm doing up here yet. So the reason I'm out here for 2 weeks is for kind of back-to-back trips. I'm up here in Montana, and there is an event starting tomorrow. I'm gonna head a little bit further west to Three Forks, and I'm meeting up with some of my friends at Toyota, and we are going to be doing a Toyota expedition called Wild Montana. I'm not exactly sure what is gonna be going on, but it's going to be a little less product focus and more like adventure focus, which is right up my alley. More lifestyle stuff, not just like hard specs, this is the new vehicle, so on and so forth. I'm not sure how I'm going to document this, but I brought all of my camera gear, obviously, so it should be a pretty cool, action-packed 4 days, I believe. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then I will have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so 3 days over the weekend to just kind of float around up here until my next event. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing during that time, but I will be bringing you guys some videos on the expedition trip with Toyota. Maybe a little bit of random content mixed in the middle there. I'm going to be editing and uploading this while I'm out here, so let me know what you guys want to see in the Montana, Wyoming area while I have like 3 days off, so to speak. And then Monday I'm going to be joining my friends at Firestone for another destination trip. You guys may have caught the one last year in October. We were in Eastern Oregon and we went through the Honeycomb Wilderness. That was a really cool trip, but also kind of last minute. This one is going to be a little bit more over the top, and we're doing this trip in, I'm just gonna say, a secret area for now in Wyoming. So I'm actually gonna be heading back towards Colorado, doing a week-long trip with Firestone from Monday to Friday, and then Friday I will probably head back home, and I gotta start getting all my vehicles ready for what's coming for the rest of the summer. So that's why I'm up here. Now it's time to, I guess, just jump right into what the truck looks like on this 2-week trip. Like I said, no fluff in this video. We're just getting straight to the point. So let's see what I have in the Tacoma. I haven't dialed in a super good storage solution for everything up here yet, but I do have all of my camera gear. I got some snacks and things like that sitting on the front seat. More bags. This Vertex bag holds the little camera that I'm filming with now, kind of like my vloggy camera. Main camera over here, everything in there. Pelican ATX 20 with all of my clothing. I packed 10 days worth of clothing in here for all kinds of adventures, which is pretty impressive if I do say so myself. Then I've got a Step 22 tortoise toiletry bag down here, and that's where I keep all my toiletries. If I wanted to have a passenger at all over the next 2 weeks, I would probably have to chuck everything in the back, which wouldn't be a huge deal. So back here I have a backpack that is holding my iPad and computer so I can work. I've got a few other random things in there like a tripod and other camera gear. Extra shoes. I got some perfect bungees down here in case I need to strap down any gear. And then this is actually my first trip fully using the Iceco APL 20. I just recently did a video on a few different APL fridges in the Iceco's line, and I like this one a lot. I actually removed my cargo system over here and just sat it right on the seat. Strapped it down with some infinity tools, one of which I'm wearing on my wrist. Love these things. I actually have a discount code for those now, so if you guys are interested in picking up a Model Outdoors Infinity Toolkit, you can save 15%, so I'll leave that in the description. Or don't, you can pay full price too. Now I didn't even think about it, but I have no food in here. I just have a couple of energy drinks, which will, I guess, be good for tomorrow morning, but Like I said, I'm not far from Bozeman, so I'm gonna dive into town to get food. Should have brought something for tonight. I guess I'm just gonna go hungry for now. And then behind my driver's seat here, I've got just some more gear kind of thrown in here. Puffy jacket, because there is a chance it could get cold. Up in higher elevation, I got more straps, winch controller, and my 63 Industries cargo system. On this side, I left it because this houses my anchor. This is a Solix C1000. I believe I've done a video on that. Little Jackery too. This is basically my tent battery, so I'll let this charge during the day. Just plugged in via 12 volt and it's at 100%, so that'll power everything in the tent tonight. This setup hasn't really changed, still feeding in by solar, and it's plugged into the truck too, so this one will be at 100%. Whenever I get to a camp spot, that is running the fridge and also the Starlink, which is up on the roof. I've got 2 sets of really nice glass here from Vortex. I'll probably show these off when I'm in an area where I can actually use them. Took these from the Tundra, and then I've got a cheaper pair down here to loan to a friend. The cargo system has these new quick release hooks, which is going to be kind of hard for me to show you guys without taking everything out, but instead of the plastic clips that they used before, there are some new metal connections, and they have a really slick little tab that you pull, and I can pull this thing entirely out of the truck in just a few seconds. So this thing is super solid. 63 Industry straps here holding the batteries down, and that's pretty much it for the inside of the truck. My Starlink is in this Roam case here, as well as a pair of boots, another pair of shoes, so just some like random storage in there. Still plenty of space in that box. The box on the opposite side, I have recovery gear, straps, shackles, soft shackles, and things of that nature. The standard side garage equipment, of course, C4 armor all throughout the truck, the Firestone tires that we've been talking about a bunch, Diamondback HD cover, Sherpa racks holding my 4x4 Colorado Alto Mini. Still rocking this tent, still enjoying it. And now for something new. I think you guys might be pretty excited about this one because I am. Let's dive into random stuff first though. Hal R1 propane tank Roam case. I brought a 5-gallon can of fuel here, so in case I run out of fuel, I can fill it up. This is empty right now, so it's not doing me much good, but when we are on the Firestone trip, we're going to be pretty far out there without any services, so I'll fill that up before we embark on those adventures. I've got a front runner chair, Agency 6 shovel, and then in this Roam case I have 2, not 1 but 2 geyser shower systems because I want to shower while I'm on this trip. And then I've got some other random supplies like blankets and extra pillows and stuff like that, but I don't really need those because everything else is in the tent already. Now for, in my opinion, the highlight of the show. You guys may recognize this from my video at Overland Expo in Flagstaff. I said that I wanted to test out some new kitchen setups. I showed 2 of them in that video, and this is the first one that I'm going to be testing, and I already like it a lot. I haven't used it yet. This is like probably one of the first production ones that they've made, and this is coming from Radica. They are a local to Denver company, and this is known as the Afterburner. I'm probably going to do a full dedicated video on this at some point, but here's a quick overview. It's a composite, like aluminum and almost polymer shell to this guy, L-track all over it, cutting board surface on the top. The cutting board then flips open to give you a little bit more of a flat surface. This one pops up to a 90, and inside it holds everything that you need for a kitchen. So paper towel holder down here, I've got extra paper towels, sponge, soap, a little pop-out dish, which is basically going to act as like a wash basin for a sink. Got a 1-pound propane tank and then a front runner flat pack here. Propane connections in the back for a 1-pound tank or a regular tank like that over there. I'm just giving you the real quick and dirty on this, mainly because I haven't even had the chance to use it yet. I need to get food before I actually use it. So in here, I loaded it out with some spices, salt and pepper, Old Bay, hot sauce. I've got a first aid kit, all of my cooking gear down here, collapsible pots, pans, utensils, cups, plates, tongs. Spoonula is my favorite cooking instrument ever. use those all the time. And then right now I just have some like random food, beef jerky, tortillas, a can of potatoes, and then some little energy fizz sticks. So that is the top portion. On the back, you can equip this with either a 2 or a 5 gallon roto pack to hold water. I opted for the 5 gallon because why not? Gonna be on the road for 2 weeks and I don't really feel like filling that up if I don't have to. These points on here are used to basically hold this flat, so they also added little bottle openers in there because why not? You could also use that as a tie down point if you wanted to. And then let's see if I can do this with one hand. This whole drawer slides out and we have a Coleman propane grill. I've used one of these in the past and I have since moved on to smaller options, but because this thing fits it perfectly, it's kind of designed around this right now. I figured might as well break it out and try this again. So you can pop this sucker out, and this one has the grill grate, so great for steaks. I eat steak quite a lot when I'm camping. Secondary burner over here if you want to make some beans or soup. You could do grilled cheese and tomato soup, something like that. I'll probably end up doing that on this trip. Nice wind blockers on here. I bought this on Amazon for like, I don't know, 120 bucks, something like that. And then the propane connection, again, haven't used this yet. That's why everything is so clean, but I'll run the propane into here. I'll probably leave this just kind of sitting here. Or an L-track mount would be pretty cool to have this mounted on the back here, on the outside. Could probably live there full time. So how you fuel this thing is up to you, but pretty cool setup. And then everything including the kitchen sink. Dometic faucet down here. This is where the sink would come into play, and then if I double tap that, there's probably some air in the system right now. Yeah, a little bit, but we have running water out of the 5 gallons, and I don't want to waste any more of that. So they use some pretty cool hinges on here, so it will stay wherever you put it as you pull it out, and then to push it away, just tucks right back in there and you're good to go. There are a lot of little like intricacies that I want to talk about when it comes to the Afterburner, but I want to use it first and really get some like real world experience with it. The best thing that I can say about it right now is that it is completely portable. So if I want to take my Tundra, pull this out of the Tacoma, throw it in the Tundra, and I'm good to go. There are some wheels back here, so when I'm done using it on my tailgate, all I have to do is slide that back in, pick up the front, roll it into the bed, and you're good to go. I've been using this little L-track mount here with a hook on it to a roller cam, which I have attached to the bedside here, so when I slide this thing back through, put that through the loop, cinch it tight, and it won't go sliding around while I'm off-road. So that's a brief look at the Radica Afterburner. More on that to come. Let me know what you guys want to know about it and what you want to see. So I think that's about all. I really wanted to just keep this video nice and short. Talk about the gas mileage that the truck's getting on the new suspension in 37s. Give you guys a quick rundown of the gear that I'm carrying on this trip. And there's going to be a lot of content coming from these next 2 weeks. It's probably going to give me content for like the next month. So you'll see a lot of Tacoma stuff mixed in with some of the other vehicles here on the channel pretty soon. Do you guys like videos like this? Just no B-roll, no fluff, no real anything, just straight to the point, talking about what we're talking about. Maybe you want to see some more vloggy style stuff. Let me know in the comments down below, and I will try to accommodate whatever you guys want to see, whatever style video you want to see. And I'm going to pop up my tent, hang out, maybe watch a movie, and go to bed. So that's going to be it for this quick video. If you're new here, consider clicking subscribe and make new videos every single week. As always, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you in the next one.